All right, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I felt like checking in, making another video. Um, Try to get it before L period opened because I just thought that'd be great to share together about what might happen. But let's move on. I just want to do a review for now. And yeah, all the colors are about where they ought to be for um, where we are. Let's watch the day transpire real quick. Okay, so let's back up to where were we? I did a review from D last time. It's the right day. That's not the right day. Here we go. Okay, review from D. So let's move on here. Let's just remember this trend line is just an extension from far out. So we'll see what happens. Here's an E. Again, as we came down, that trend line didn't hold, but will it hold on the underside? That's always an interesting phenomenon. Now, if you remember, the purple down here was our 50 moving average at the time that I drew it, and I didn't adjust it or anything. I left it the way it was. It's 2013.97. When I drew it, it was pointing a little higher. It was, let's see, where's our purple here? 1650 to 1770. Well, I incorporate, I make let's just say it was in that area, and that's why I colored this area purple to denote that so was the 50 moving average. But I didn't go and, okay, I'm going to move it down to here. At the time, maybe when it came down an E, it was right around the E low. I don't know, or a little lower. I don't recall. It's not that important, but we're just, I just wanted to revisit some things that I talk about in earlier videos. So let's go back to the replay. Okay, we're in F period now. Comes up now on the underside. We're going to be red, and if we get too far over, I got to turn it back blue. So let's do that. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I don't need to make it. Let me raise this up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Interestingly enough, that held. So again, sometimes wise leave things on a chart. Oh, didn't hold this time. Now will it hold from above? Yeah, it just obviously there was some kind of thing there, but not much to really. Yeah, that's not really, there's not that much there. But let's move forward here. Well, now that we're above it significantly, I need to make this blue. Now in real time, I do this, a little bit. Almost looks like some things got erased in here, or not. Maybe I didn't just didn't draw anything there. I don't know. I don't remember. We're in J period. Okay, hold on. K period. Going to come to L shortly, where we are now. Okay, so pretty interesting. Now I want to point out that this area right here, this blue area, is 1650 to 1775. And when it first came down there and touched in there, this is all crunched up. Let me make it bigger. That's a little money. Now remember, in these videos, there's not an opportunity, or at least it's not my intention right now, to talk about the go with, because you could say, oh, well, you're always trying to catch a falling knife, or always trying to, call a top, or or something like that. No, I'm not. I'm just watching what the market does, and when you get out a map, you look at the terrain, and you kind of anticipate what it's going to be like if you've never been there before. What are things going to be like? Or what roads should you turn on? Are they exactly where the map said it was? Does it look like you ought to turn there? Maybe it's another quarter mile down the road. Yeah, I don't know. That analogy is kind of weak, but my point being is, nevertheless, you see how they can be tradable. So once we are under it significantly like this could be turned red. So this will help you see what I'm about to point out here. And now, there's no reason not to think we're going to continue down exactly. And that's what happened. This was nice for, gosh, let's just say even 3 ticks, 1 point. It's not a lot, but you make it several lots, a few $100, you know, whatever. My point being is that if you didn't get any more downside, well, you got a little money. And if you do this a couple times a day and you do this every day a week, that's nice. You know, that's a nice little, that's fun. How about that? All right. So another thing, another takeaway here is, did you see it? You started to love these yet? Oh, hang on. There you go. Don't want to take a breakout? I wouldn't. We'll go right into this high, but it did break out for a minute. Then it kind of just fizzled for a few minutes. And then there you go. And then how much is that worth? Well, about 35 down to, so you got in about, I wish I could do something, just have a different button on my mouse to just flip this right over to 27. Well, 35 to 27, that's 8 points. No, it doesn't look like it. 8 points, son. That's a nice day right there. Let's just see this. Whoop, that's not where I'd put a stop. Let me see here. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to, where you put your stop, where I put mine are different, but let's just say you just said, well, if it just fails back in, then I'm done with this. So let's just say you kept it tight. You got in, you know, about here, whatever, hook it up to, let's say you got 34.50, 30 ticks, $375 on a one lot. All right. Well, there you go. So then you got, of course, I'm not saying that you'd have shorted here, but we're in a, you know, this was kind of a downtrend, but there's other things going on. When you look at the profile that I would have been careful to short here if I were you. Let's look at the profile. This. In fact, I almost popped up live when this was happening because I thought it might take a little bit more back, but it didn't. But what did I just circle there? Well, figure it out. It signaled to me that, I mean, I could talk about the dynamics there for about 45 minutes. Well, 20 minutes maybe. I don't know. A little while. Let's put it that way. So here we are up here, kind of back in the middle. We did get the VPOC to come down to the middle. And essentially we have kind of, well, let's just look at something. So we went sort of, I was talking about it maybe going sideways down like this and kind of thinking of a B being up here. See if what it looks like here. More like a pregnant lady than a B. So I don't know. But anyway, we did kind of come back, you know, went down, come back. And it's what I was saying is like it flush it down and then push it back up. Now, will we rotate all the way up to the highs? We could still potentially, let's see, L and M period. We could get a short covering rally to the upside. You know, if traders cover and, you know, that kind of thing. So let me turn this back to blue. Anything else you want to say? Yeah, let's do this. Well, there is something else I want to say. So from the morning's high, I think you already know what I want to do. I'm going to guess a, let's see, 50%. Let's see. Yeah, right between 50 and 618 got in here. But it's pretty much held around the 50%. So, all right. Now, wait a minute. What about from yesterday's high? What is that going to look like? Let's see. Little closer to 50% exactly. So, okay, Ben, what does this mean? That's your homework. All right, so I want to talk about going forward. I mentioned something about, eventually maybe doing a room or something. I'm not sure that at this point in my life, with what I have going on personally, that I really can commit to that and not add too much stress to my life. If I could even get anybody to sign up. And what seems more doable to me, and I think I could commit to and sustain and be really fair about it, is people who use Sierra Chart could get these areas um, pop up automatically, and be like $1 a day, buck every trading day, right? Less than that if you count it on a 30-day cycle, something like that. Uh, I think I'd want to have to commit to doing it every single day and giving it my best. I'd want. I think I think it need to supplement my income. A few $100, say $300. So that would mean I'd need how many subscribers, right? Um, so about 15 subscribers, or people who might want to pay so much for a commitment of 3 months, and well, let me think. I got to think out the math on that, how that would work and whatnot. But that's a thought. If that sounds like something might be of interest to you, I'm not saying I'm ready to commit to doing it because I haven't actually even tested it out. I only learned that I could do that with these. Um, I kind of thought I could because I used to do a thing where I shared other shared other levels with. They were more like lines. They weren't necessarily zones or areas that with some trading friends I had, and for free. It was just a small group of us, and I thought I could probably do it with some of the ways you draw out the lines in between. Anyway, so it looks like I can do it. I asked them how to do it, and they showed me, and it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And so I can do this, and um, I guess I'd like a little feedback. I don't get that many viewers. I'm sure some of them are people who land by accident. Some of them are people who watched it for 30 seconds ago. I don't like the sound of this guy's voice, and some of the views are me. And I know there's one or two that have watched more than one, and I appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. And anyway, I just wonder what so far if you've watched any of these. Now, what I would probably stop doing is I wouldn't be able to make any commitment to these deals. I'm not talking about a live trade room, which that was initially my thought, because right now I just make videos and I talk about these areas and I kind of help build a sense of, because I've never been a good shadow trader myself. I thought, well, if you can see these, you might want to copy them and maybe start backward engineering them yourself or whatever. And I don't know, if you're like me, some people just like to have the lines pop up. I mean, I know I do with certain lines in here. I don't want to put them on every day. It's a pain in the butt. Like the open, previous day's high, the close, just various lines. I like to have the computer do it. And this is similar to doing that. But for me, I'm kind of, some people like to eat and some people like to cook. And because I like to cook, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, I just am somebody who's probably got to get my hands under the hood on stuff. It makes my life a bit harder. Takes me a little longer to get there sometimes, but once I got it put together, then I take it further than maybe it was going, if that makes any sense. So anyway, there it is. I'm just looking for, again, I talked about these videos being a trial balloon. I'm just doing a little market research. I'm wondering, I'd rather kind of build organically and very slowly with people to have anything. And it's not anything I want it to be a big empire. It's just something, it'd be nice to trade with people, or at least have somebody I'm kind of, a sense of helping people and, knowing there's somebody out there in the industry who's not a shyster. I mean, sure, I'm saying every man says something good about himself. That's not what I mean by that. It's just like, listen, I've been on the other side of it, and I just see a big people unwilling to help people, like really to tell them. They're just kind of like, well, just follow the rules and you're on your own, instead of really kind of explaining things. And that's why I've said a lot of stuff in here that's taken me many years, a lot of money, because you got to sign up for courses and sign up for a school, or and sign up for buy books and watch DVDs and spend hours. And don't forget the time, man. Don't forget the time. The time is super important. It's one thing to say, oh well, somebody's paying $300 a month for a trading room for 6 months, or somebody's paying $5,000 for a year with some guy or some quote school. Somebody buys $2,997 worth of DVDs for their master course, and whatever. And hey, if you can sell enough of those and it's worth it to do that, and you really impart something to somebody, I guess that's okay, because everybody's got to start somewhere. And what am I trying to say? I guess I'm trying to say that I just feel like this is something that I've enjoyed doing when I've been working with people that I've met in this world, and I mean the trading world. And it's something that again, there's a definite help to me to be explaining what I'm seeing. It makes me it's just like when you're writing something down, you might remember it more. I mean, there's just a enhancement to my own trading by and it's about energy too. It's about energy flow. Don't want to be the Dead Sea. Right on. Okay. So at any rate, little market feedback would be helpful. If you hate this, or if you've only watched 2 minutes and you think this is a bunch of bunk, don't do yourself a favor and don't just say something nasty and move on. I've had that in the past a long time ago. Just move on. It isn't for you, then go away. You don't have to ruin my day, because I certainly wasn't trying to ruin yours. Not that I'm going to let you ruin my day, but you know what I mean. We just, who needs more negativity in the world? So anyway, again, I'm kind of hashing this out. Been a lot of things in my life, been changing my focus from trading lately, and that's another reason I hadn't disclosed yet. Is one of the reasons I'm doing this is that really enjoy it, but it helps keep my hands on the wheel. Because I gotta get up and go do things around the house and go places and stuff like that right now. And I've got some physical things I'm trying to work out, personally, and all the stuff takes time, and I'm only one man. I can only be in one place at one time. It's just like you, and I can only do so much. I'm amazed at these people that they write books, and they're politicians, and they're also a mother and they're also a wife and a mother and a husband and a father, and they're also have 4 degrees, and it's like, God, how do you do it? Just don't get it. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know what to say. Anyway, I'm kind of my afternoon ramble here. Back at the pivot point, back at the top of this little balance area, which became a balance area again so far. Again, let's talk a little bit about this. So this gray area, I'm not sure if I remember seeing it on maybe that's why there was a void. I don't think I have those on that 30-second chart. Let's see. I don't. So let's do that real quickly, and let's look at something very, very quickly. Okay. So this is number 7. Okay. Number 7. I'll go to 32nd. I'm going to put should be on there. I've had this problem. I wasn't sure why they were. Maybe it's because it's in the order it's in. I'll try that real quick. Every once in a while, things go a little wonky. Yeah, so I don't understand. Maybe because the days don't go back far enough. Let me do this for a minute, except it's going to take a long time to load. I'm going to have to figure it out. So let's just look at it this way. Why don't I just draw another one? Okay, I'll just draw another one. So let's look at the profile, and we are from 28 to 35. I can see it, even if you can't. 28 to 35. So Let me make it to the tick. You know, I don't want to. There we go. So that's a little area. It looks like we're missing a blue zone too here. Let me just put that on there. I kind of want to make it similar. I'll sort out the technical reasons it's not, things aren't showing up. So 26, 75 to 28. All right, 26.75 to 28. 26.75 to 28. All right, that's easy enough. There we go. And then, okay, I thought in here I'm missing something. Let me just check real quick. Maybe I am. We're missing all this. 16 to 22.70, 16 to 22.75. Come on, get up there. There we go. Yeah. See, trust your instincts. I thought I see 21, 22.75. I got to figure out why these are not totally populating. There we go. All right, we're back in business. Okay, so let me let's do us a favor here. Well, I'll leave that trend line on here, but I'm going to cut this one. Now I forgot what we were going to even do. Okay, yeah. So we were looking at when we came back into this balance area. So let's back up. We kind of have to do this again a little bit, but that's all right. It's going to be interesting to see it now. So E period. We're just going to go forward. And for those of you that get that far in one of my videos here, I really appreciate it. You know, that's another reason I'm thinking, I just get the levels out there. You got to look at average watch time. And I know one person clicking on a video for 2 seconds screws that up. And when you only have like 3 watchers, you know, well, that makes a big difference. So I don't know who watches them all the way through. Okay, so now here's another reason, right? First of all, when you came up, you're not going to want to trade a breakout right into this because at that time, this is red, okay? I painted it blue because when I did it, we were up here. But now that we're above it, this is probably blue, so we're going to leave it. Now we come back on this. That might be worth a shot, okay? And it was. So there you go. Now, when we get into these gray areas, it's not a guarantee, but there's pretty good odds we might get to the other side of it eventually, whether it's in a half an hour or in 5 seconds, you know, it can happen. So there we are up there. It's red. And again, combined with some other market understanding, you could have taken this swing down. And then you get down here. Well, it didn't quite get back there. So how do you get in on something like that? Well, you might miss it. You might have other techniques. There we're back down there. Oh, you know, it might have gotten stopped out. So we're back to L. You know, but anyway, so we're rotated in. What I want to show is the rotations through here. There you go. And we're up here. Okay. So what do you think will happen next? Well, I think could get up here yet. But look at this high back here. Look how this went up there. I think we're headed down, you know. Now, if you're expecting straight down, probably forget it. But probably down to here. So what is that? 37.50, let's say. 37 even. Down to 35.25. So what's that? Almost 2 points. You could have anticipated that, you know, as a possibility. Again, that's just looking at a 30-second minute chart with some areas. I mean, you got a host of other reasons, you know, to back up your thesis of making a decision. So anyway, yeah, I just want to go over this, and please please like, subscribe, hit the bell, because that doesn't mean I'm done making videos, but I would appreciate what your thoughts are on subscribing to these areas, and if that would be a benefit to you if you have Sierra chart. You know, I'd like to know. Unfortunately, I can't do it for multiple platforms, even though I'm experienced with other platforms. this is other than some of the ones like Thinkorswim or there's another one or two, but I'm only subscribing to this right now. Well, no, that's not true. I have a license to another type of software, but it's not one where I think I can share levels, and that would be Jigsaw. Jigsaw Tools, which is a fine program. It's a very sophisticated dome and a straightforward. I mean, it could be a trading platform unto itself, you know. Anyway, there you go. So there was a nice little short. Now what's going to happen? Well, we're in this. We got a little trend line here, at least on a 30-second. Probably go up, then maybe come back down through it. Maybe go up here and then come back down, and then maybe get outside of this line, or or maybe not. Maybe it'll go all the way down to 35. That'd be nice, but I wouldn't count on it. I think we'll get a little zig up here, and then maybe break back down again, and then kind of, I don't know, something like that. So they're only 30-second bars. Might as well hang around a minute or two and watch. There we go, going up. Let's see, it's fun to, if I give the impression that, oh, you're right all the time and you think you're right all the time, I am not, but it certainly is fun to sort of anticipate like what your dog will do, right? And he does it. He's a good dog, right? This is maybe not the best analogy. My point is like many times what's likely to happen based on your experience with things, and your experience is your confidence in your experience and intuition and everything else is reinforced every time one of those things happens, and you put yourself to the test. So here for me, it's me putting myself to the test in front of I don't know who might be watching, and so there we go. All right, didn't quite get up there. Kind of broke this line. We just having a little throw over before it shoots up again. Line. This would be again a measure of. This would be what you'd say is being too exact. So it doesn't mean this whole concept is over yet. May even tick down yet again to get some stops under here before it goes up, and then kind of breaks the line more determinedly. And we got to look at the tempo too. I wouldn't necessarily want to be in a trade where, I only have a few reasons at this moment to believe that's what's going to happen. And I'm also, doing this video and talking and all this stuff. And I don't like to be in a trade where it's just not going anywhere, right? And to kind of harken back to all right, this trade, like I said, it might tick down a little bit. If it goes any more than that, I'd say, that idea is not really working for now. It may come down to 35 and then go up here and then kind of, and this trend line was just a fancy idea. Remember, it is only a 30-second bar chart. So there we go. Here we come back up. So, it depends on where you have your stop. Well, if you're only going up to here, let's see. It's only, yeah, that's a point. Let me make it bigger. That's a point. That's a point if you get through. And then you would have risked, let's see. Well, not you would have risked, but, I've said in another video that this whole, oh, you must have a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Thought-stopping nonsense. That really depends on how good you are, doesn't it? Think about that. Okay, so moving on. Let's watch for a second. At least I'm going to watch. You can in the video if you want. I might think of something else to say. Or there we go. There we go, baby. How about that? Did a little better to point, didn't you? So may go sideways here, come back down, or may just come straight back down and kind of go sideways and down. May just keep going straight up in 30 seconds all the way to the roof. I don't know. But to me, this break of the trend line wasn't bad. I mean, to expect immediate results, you got to be really in tune and feeling that and be in a familiar territory. So I haven't even looked at the profile since we've been, doing this. I wasn't even considering the fact we're coming into M period, which was an anticipated possible short covering. So let's turn these blue now. Well, this one anyway. Let's look at M period. Okay, there's good possibility that I'm just going to say right now that we just flush all the way down to the VPOC. There's also a possibility, and I'm talking odds. I'm not sure which one's higher, but we come down to 36.75, the J high, or the pivot, and then sometime in the next 30 minutes, reverse, and then I'm also going to say right here too. I want to say right here. So what I say, the J high, the pivot, and let's just leave the pivot line there. The J high, the pivot, the K high. Okay. Of course, it could come all the way down to the VPOC, but if it does that, I don't think that we're going to probably reverse and go all the way to the upside. We'll just get more rotation back down. Like if you're painting your imagination, maybe just down to here and then end period back up to the VPOC, something like that. But, it didn't really flushing, and I'm kind of seeing like what happened in L, so like, look what happened in L. This looked like some short covering. So there's probably plenty more to go. People are ready to kind of get done the day. And don't forget our B high, right on this VPOC, right on yesterday's open. Yeah, got double distribution yet. Single prints here that could, we're just in close enough to borrow a cup of sugar at 40 quarter with the single prints right there. So, all right, here's our J high and pivot. There we go. Now, will this level hold? It's also the top of this gray area and the bottom of this blue, right? I'm going to say, yeah, it might. I'm tempted to turn on a paper count and just trade it while we're doing the show here. It's too slow, really, for me right now. I mean, the pace and the tempo is kind of. It doesn't look like anybody's really trying to push it down. Doesn't look like anybody's ready to, just start closing out their books. Give it a minute. Seemed to me like somebody's probably cooking up some game. Haven't seen it yet. Waiting for some bigger player to try to push it in direction and then devour them. That's my another one. I got a book of games that I've discerned. So there's somebody bigger waiting for another big guy to think, well, I'm going to make my move, and then they get swallowed up. Maybe I'm just fantasizing. I don't know. I'm not in that world. I'm just a little minnow swimming with the sharks. Except there's no minnows in the ocean, are there? Somebody can comment that down below if you know. I mean, don't look it up. I don't think there are minnows. I mean, there's definitely fish that are similar, but minnows are freshwater fish. Okay, what's happening here? What's happening? I don't want to, because of the time of day, I'm not going to say a whole lot of nothing. Now we got the POC from yesterday, right? You got the pivot point. You got the top of this balance area. You've got, this area that I had defined earlier as a place that might be a stopping point. Don't be surprised. Like I said, exactness kills. Just because it goes through a line a little bit, it means something, but it doesn't mean that line is not, that this is over. Oh, we're on the underside of it now. You must sell under it. No, it means they're just kind of washing out people who were too eager, fear of missing out. People were getting long when it was not going down, and then they put in their stops right under here, and so now they just went and swallowed them up. So those guys are out. So are they going to do anybody bigger? They're going to try to find people maybe under the VPOC. And that's just under the assumption and premise that we are going up higher yet today. We're going to close up on the overnight high or near the overnight high VPOC. Now, don't forget that's still up there. Okay. Don't forget that's still up there. There's people that have starting points in here. Trust me. All right, we're waiting because something's happening. There are people who would just say, "Oh, nothing happened today, just snooze fest." Or right now, even, there's always something going on, and there's always money to be made. because somebody's making money. Every time that thing ticks, somebody makes money, somebody loses money, right? Every time that thing ticks. And you got to keep that in your mind, that, you know, you want to sit and watch the market like you're in an aquarium for 4 hours waiting for, you know, a trade. That's well and good for a period of time, or maybe on certain days, or maybe how you're feeling. But I'll tell you, then you need to learn some other techniques. You need to get yourself a jar to put all your change in your pocket in. You follow my line of thinking? Are you smelling what I'm cooking? You put your change in your pocket every day for a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. That thing gets about 3/4 full. And I'm not talking let's just talk a mayonnaise jar, okay? Put all your quarters, dimes, pennies, and nickels in a mayonnaise jar. Then take it down to your branch that has one of those machines, dump it in there, and go up to the teller with your little chit, and they'll probably give you enough money to take you and someone out to dinner and have a pretty nice time. That's true. I'm not talking some fancy restaurant in downtown Manhattan or something like that, or Chicago, but you know, you might have 40, $50 in that little jar. Maybe not quite that much. Just, you know, of course, it always depends, but you get what I'm saying. You need to learn different techniques. You need to know that it's okay to take little nibbles. It's okay to take 2-3 ticks out of the market. Imagine if you're doing that with 50 lots, right? Well, you got to start somewhere. 1 lot, 2 lot, 3 lot. Get good at it with the 1 lot. Get good at taking 2-3 ticks out of the market. I did that for a while. I just told myself, you know what? There's so many little moves in here. I'm only going to take a 3-tick trade, 3-tick risk. I did that for quite a time, and it was an exercise, and I got good at it. I got pretty good at it, and it made me think. It made me really think, because, you know, I'm only risking 3 ticks. How easy is it to get shaken out in the ES with 3 ticks? Real easy. In a blip, and then it turns and fires off 100 points the other way. Well, not 100, but you know what I mean. So nothing's really happened, right? We just opened, ticked up, came down. We're waiting. Something's going to happen. Got another in 3 minutes. We're going to have another 5-minute bar. We're going to have another 10-minute bar. In 12 minutes, we're going to have a 15-minute bar. I'm looking for something to happen a little bit in 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. So we'll wait. You know, maybe a little while yet, but for the sake of coming this far, we're going to wait a minute. So it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. So don't have anybody to talk to. It'd be nice if this was, you're supposed to be able to, first of all, nobody's viewing this with me, but it's supposed to be able to have a chat. And since I don't really have any viewers, I haven't worked on how to do that. And this video is going to be super long just because of this little part right here. But that's all right. You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe I should stop the video and come back, and we'll see what has happened. Here we go. All right, coming up, anticipating. Now, look, just because I said here we go doesn't mean it's taking off the launch pad. It doesn't mean it will, right? There was a slam down. Could suddenly flush. But I'm kind of thinking, since there's no sellers, and there aren't really any buyers yet, and there's short covering that's above us, you know, and there's also long liquidation in some of this stuff. But remember what happened in K period. K period opened and drove practically down and took back all of J, took out anybody under here, took out all of I, took him under here, and I was a move up, you know. So took out pretty much everybody that got long here about halfway anyway, okay, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that made sense what I'm saying, but we already had a long liquidation break, you know, and now there's still a lot of these folks up here. Just don't forget what's happened in the market to think about what might be going in the future. So I'm going to keep this in view, right? I'm going to keep up this, like I said, this little single print's close enough to borrow a cup of sugar. And for that matter, so, and this is the IB low. It's not just any single print. It's the IB low. That's a significant stepping off point. You can have that for free. All right, I'm getting a little bored though. So I may end the video and just come back and just follow up with that. So I will, because I don't want to keep talking at you. You know, I get tired of hearing my own voice, right? So, all right, I'll be back.